It's not Dubai, it's not zero, but it's just 1% tax. That's crazy.
If your business is innovative, for first 3 years, you don't pay any taxes.
Most important thing is to choose a right partner in private life and also in the business.
If you are dedicated enough, you can achieve literally anything.
When we are, 100,000 years, we're gonna still have this podcast.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
And maybe English could be better.
And you'll be coming to me and saying, hey, I have this new great idea. Let's build this, let's build that. And I will be like...
Hi ladies and gents, this is Valerian Gagidze, entrepreneur and angel investor, the host of Entrepreneur's Diary. And today I'm hosting my friend, great entrepreneur and smartest guy in Georgia, Zura Aizuradze. How are you, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So first of all, thank you for coming here. I want to give a little bit of background about you. So we learned in the same school, then same university, and somehow we ended up working together. And today we are partners and friends. And yeah, I would say that my life changed after I met you after university. So
it's the same here. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how life brings people together after so many time. I remember even in the school, actually, we had some connection. We both were like standing out from this crowd we were from. And like we both liked these colorful clothes, like different clothes. And we were having some problems with the cool guys because of...
We were the cool guys because we were brought up in the ghetto and we were brave enough to wear whatever we wanted, do whatever we wanted, and we were smart guys. The experience that we gained through the childhood, through university, through everything, it led us to this great partnership.
Yeah,
and
totally.
all the previous failures or learning that we had, it ended up in a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, at least this is for me. And my question for you is, what was this pivotal moment in your life which changed your career into entrepreneurship, or like where you are now?
Honestly, I always thought that entrepreneurship and this doing something was not my thing. I'm generally more doer than a visionary type like you. I think by nature you're more entrepreneurial than me. Then I also realized that in every business or every idea, in anything that you have to do and want to do, you need a guy who's a visionary, and then you need a guy who is structured, can control it on a daily basis. So then I realized that even in the business, the guys like me are also necessary, and I would say even crucial, and not less important than the guys who have a vision. Like you came up and said with your idea to set up the business. Obviously it was not easy for me because I'm very risk-averse type of person. I don't like risking too much, and this was the thing that I have not done because I always worked in big corporations like KPMG, ArcelorMittal, and first job was also in the bank, also which was a huge, big global group of banks. And this was something that I was kind of scared of, but I was also mature enough to take this risk and to tell myself that, okay, even if I don't succeed, it will be a lesson. And so far, honestly, what I also told myself was that before that moment, there was no case that I started something, I tried something and I failed. I don't know how good or bad is it. Maybe I was not taking risky steps, and maybe that's why I was not failing. Okay, obviously I had some smaller fails, but not the major ones. This was the thing that helped me to say, okay, screw it, let's try. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure that if you are consistent and if you are dedicated enough, you can achieve literally anything. Because and this is what comes from my parents, that what they always taught me, that there's nothing that you cannot achieve if you work hard enough.
Yeah. The most important thing is to choose a right partner in private life and also in the business. And you're being humble about yourself and your skills, not taking risks and all this, because dude, it's never one person alone. It's always a team. And I tried a lot of stuff before I started this business with you, and it never succeeded. And only together with you, I managed and we managed to make it work. Not only one project, but it's already 3 and 4th is coming, right? And it means that in like historical data gives us that in the last 3 years, we have done 3 different projects, all of them bootstrapped with 0 investment,
Exactly.
and all of them are profitable with multi-million revenue.
Yeah. I remember when we were sitting, I think it was around 1 year ago, right? We were in this old office of ours, and you were like, okay, I think we need to have a newer office, new real estate project. And I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I was like, this guy is crazy, man. And I was sure, honestly, I was sure that there is no way that we could do it in like, you wanted to basically set up the new office in like 5-6 months, right? Whole project, which is like, I mean, it's huge. But again, then like fast forward today, in November, we entered the office, we opened the new office, like it was crazy. But again, it's all about complementary team, right?
That's true.
If you are bold enough to, and if you have courage to make the first step, and you're the guy who is actually making the first steps, and this is the most important. And then if you have the complementary team behind, I mean,
that's the
you
most
can achieve.
important. I cannot make any step without knowing that I can accomplish, because I'm gonna be full just talking around like different ideas. I know that I can deliver together with you and our team, because we have this ideal mix of Georgian passion and German structure, and it works really well. We are scaling, we are growing steadily, we are building trust among, I know, 20 countries or more, and supporting local talent. Today, I want to talk about the major problems that entrepreneurs are facing internationally. And especially when we talk to our clients in Europe, right? They are paying crazy taxes in the business. And I just realized at some point that we here in Georgia, we actually have a tax heaven, especially what was changed in the last couple of years for IT companies. So maybe you could just give a short info, how does the system works, so people can understand, so they can compare how it's easy to do business in Georgia compared to Europe or USA or somewhere else, and why it's a good place for, let's say, nearshoring or setting up your office here.
You have to look at Georgia from the regional and geographical perspective, right? When you're a small country like Georgia, surrounded with bigger countries, stronger countries, you need to have a competitive advantage, and we don't have oils and gas resources, we have some, but it's not so crucial for our economy. It's not that significant. So when you're in this kind of situation, you have to find what's good, like what's awesome about you, where you can make difference, in terms of international competitiveness. Thanks God, during the last 20-25 years, Georgia started moving in a very correct direction of exploiting its natural advantages, which means that we have very relaxed but effective legal and tax frameworks, which should be and is the cornerstone of our attractiveness in the international business domain. And if you don't do it for the countries like Georgia, it's simply not possible to survive, as simple as that. And the way it works is that basically you have very low bureaucracy compared to most of the Western countries. But on the other hand, you have a very effective system. I think one of the reasons why Georgia was successful in this is that actually what happened around 20 years ago was that whatever Soviet legacy we had, all this rotten system, what the government did was just scrapped it to zero. And constructed it from zero, basically, from scratch. This, timing-wise, this coincided with the technological changes and breakthroughs, and Georgia was fast enough to implement all those new technologies in the government system, tax system, and it helped us to update and upgrade the system faster and in a more effective way. So I think this is one of the reasons how and why Georgia succeeded in creating very straightforward, low bureaucracy and effective legal and tax frameworks.
So the economical growth is actually doubling what we've seen if you compare it to the previous years, and because a lot of stuff around the country is changing, and it, well, at some point it is opening the doors for us, right? Because Georgia is emerging as a next Switzerland of the Caucasus.
Exactly.
Because we don't interact with any of the conflicts, it's steady. People won't invest here. I know that only last year alone in Tbilisi there were sold more than 10,000 apartments.
Yeah.
And the population of Tbilisi increased by 10%.
Yeah.
1 year alone. People are attracted not only by the culture, by cuisine, by everything that you can get here in terms of results, but also easiness of doing business. So let's tell to our listeners and whoever watches our podcast what they can get if they incorporate the company here. How long does it take? What is regular tax regimes or special ones afterwards? And let's compare it with European ones.
Okay. Again, here it's also the system is far more simple and straightforward and more flexible. Basically, if you want to set up the company, you just go to the one-stop shop, which is public service hall, and incorporate the company even on the same day. Yeah. You don't need any share capital. The requirement is 0, and you can also. It's for extra payment. You can basically get your incorporation certificate the same day, actually.
So it's just one day.
Exactly. Like the even same day. So it's very straightforward. Also, you don't have the requirements for documentation that you need to provide and apply is very straightforward. You just need several documents which are very clear and very easy to understand in a way. You just submit them and you get your certification on the same day or the next day.
I agree. And what's most important, you can do it remotely, right? So we have done all our company corporations remotely.
Exactly.
And then it's followed by opening a bank account, which takes around 1 week if documentation is fine, or maybe 2 weeks time, right? And you can also do it on a remote basis. I tried a couple of years ago when I moved to Germany to open a LLC, which is called GmbH. And it's like, playing Mario with unlimited amount of levels which you need to go through. You need 20,000 at least for the capital.
Share capital.
Yeah. And then it takes not a day for sure, a couple of weeks, and then opening a bank account, it's even harder. And managing all the stuff and understanding the tax, I mean, we still struggle there. I'll be honest. I believe all of the guys that have companies in Germany, I believe everyone struggles with that. And in Georgia, it's quite easy and straightforward. You have only how many for employer? You can just elaborate on this.
We just in Georgia for the company you only have the following taxes: VAT, obviously 18%. Then you have the property tax. 1% flat. Then you have the withholding tax, which is like income for the personal income that is withheld from the payroll that you're paying to your employees. Then you have the dividend tax and the profit tax. But very good thing about the profit and dividend tax is that basically you only pay the profit tax if you are distributing the dividends.
Exactly.
So if you're leaving the funds or leaving the profit within the company, you pay 0.
Exactly. So, and if I compare it with Germany again or with any other country, so there as an employee, I pay around 45% of taxes, right? And in Georgia, as an employee, I pay 20% income tax, then 2% pension contribution. Exactly. The same is doing an employer, like adding 2% more. So in total it's 24%. Well, more or less because it's calculated a little bit differently.
Exactly, a bit less.
A bit less, yeah. So if I compare it like with Germany or any other countries. In Nordics, it's gonna be way more, but it's like 2 times less. And then you have special regimes.
Yeah, another perk of
That's heaven. I mean, I think that was what grabbed the attention of the whole world, and more companies like EPAM, Majorel, and other guys are coming to Georgia and incorporating here and doing their remote offices.
Yeah, so let's talk about one of the special tax regimes that we have, which is international company status. So if you are the international company and you have at least 2 years of experience of doing something on an international level, and you incorporate the company in Georgia and provide services from Georgia to any of the countries outside of Georgia, you are eligible to apply for this tax regime, which is implying the following. You pay 5% personal income tax instead of 25. You don't pay any corporate profit tax actually, and you only pay 5% dividend tax basically, which means that if you want to, let's say you earn the profit of 100,000 euros, right? If you want to cash it out, you just pay 5,000 euros for this, which is awesome. I mean,
yeah, that's amazing, man.
And by the way, there is another special tax regime coming up for they call it innovative businesses. Yeah. So if your business is innovative, they have for first 3 years you don't pay any taxes, like zero
crazy.
taxes.
That's crazy.
It's in process. I think it will be activated soon. But again, this will be another reason for the innovative guys, for the guys who have some innovative ideas, to come to Georgia, incorporate the companies, and start doing business here.
We have companies coming for that in our company to get the service from Canada, from US, from Europe. And this number is growing because word of mouth actually works. It's like, hey man, this is a tax heaven. You should come here. You should bring your business to your team because cost of living is 5 times cheaper compared to Europe. Maybe also 5 times better in terms of quality because you have fresh air, you have all the natural products, ski resorts, sea resorts, the best cuisine probably which you can find. I'm being like really honest about it. Like you have everything what you need, like meat, vegan, fruits, like whatever you want, and wine. Yeah. So in together, it's I can't even describe where you can live.
Compared to most of the developing countries, it's, I would say, heaven, because it's far easier to do things here. That you don't have the guys and regulators coming after you with this list of the things for compliance you have to do, etc. Especially if you're an international business, you are basically respected and liked by the authorities.
The only thing as a foreigner what you need is one trusted guy. I mean, you can do it by yourself, but if you're doing it in a remote, you need a trusted person, which you can find quite easily, I believe. Exactly. So, and it can solve all your problems. Get investments in the bank or the loan, buy the best property, get the best talent, tax regimes. Like, it's just a life-changing moment for every entrepreneur that's coming to Georgia and doing international business.
Yeah. And good point here is that even though it's so I would say easily operated, it's still in compliance with all the Western regulations and the regulations of the developed world, because Georgia is striving towards Western culture, Western world, so to say. And we are basically going through this fine line between being flexible, but also being healthy.
Totally agree. And what I also want to add is that from entrepreneurial and business perspective, Georgian banking is top-notch for several reasons. First of all, you can open it totally remotely without ever need to go to bank or getting any letter, which in Europe people love a lot. So like totally remote. Then you can manage all your finances also remotely. You don't need to sign or do this stuff. So you just get this special pass which generates the code and transfers the money. You can easily transfer quite a big amounts of money, like also on a remote basis. But then, as you are short of cash and you need more money, you get loans quite easily. And banks actually support you to grow your business, and they sometimes even come and push you, like, do this, and there's opportunity to invest in real estate or somewhere like. And also in Georgia, everyone loves real estate, especially banks.
Because in Georgia so far it never failed.
Never.
If you look at the region, it's very easy to understand why all the people are basically running to Georgia to buy real estate, because it's one of the most stable countries in the region.
Here's what I want to say. It's not Dubai, it's not zero, but it's just 1% tax. That's fucking crazy. Like 1%. And you don't need to build some crazy schemes across multiple countries. This is special regime for solopreneurs, just one person company, individual entrepreneurs that we call small entity in Georgia.
Which is like more and more people are doing this, right? This freelancing and sole proprietorship, it's becoming more and more popular. In Georgia, there is a small business status. So if you're the individual entrepreneur, you're registered as an individual entrepreneur, then you apply for the small business status, which takes from 2 to 3 weeks at most. And right after you get the status, you are actually taxed only 1% on all your profit, up to 500,000 lari, which is around 200 euros per month. But even after this, you are only taxed by, I think, 2 or 3%.
Yeah, depending how much you earn, but
it's very straightforward. You don't need to prove anything. You don't have this paperwork to supply and like submit all the time. It's as simple as that. You declare your income on a monthly basis, and you pay the tax on a monthly basis, 1%, and that's it.
I think we talked about all possible benefits that people and entrepreneurs can get in Georgia, and I also want to quickly touch base about our event in September that we are organizing for our clients and partners. So, every time someone comes to Georgia, we're so proud about it. We love our country, and the hospitality is in our wins. So in Georgia, we have a saying that guest comes from God. So whenever you are in Georgia, whoever you meet will invite you to home to bake a bread for you or to actually taste his made wine, homemade wine. And that's cultural thing. They don't wait for anything from your side. It's just a regular thing. And this idea of yours of inviting our clients and partners to Georgia, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it will work, and it will be good for everyone, like both sides. I think happiness is real when it's shared, right? So I think I see the duty of myself also to share that we have with everyone around who is willing to do a business and enjoy this country. And this is what we are in process of doing, right? This project serves the purpose of basically opening up the doors of Georgia to the international business society, and I'm sure that the event, which will take place in September, will definitely serve the purpose.
So there's one thing that I love about this venture that we have, my friend. It's a fucking joyful thing, because I never get bored. We got introduced to people like us, entrepreneurs all across the globe, that come to Georgia, or we go with them. We have fun together, we become friends, it becomes a partnership, and it becomes life eventually. So there's no line like work and private life. It's mixed in a very nice way, in a joyful way. And I want to play this game as much as possible together with you and our team, with this great content creator and all others, really, because here we are today after 3 years, because we enjoy the game. And I want to thank you for all this time, and I wish that when we are, 100 something years, we're gonna still have this podcast, but you know, we won't have hair most probably, but our beard gonna be super white, and we're gonna be wiser, and maybe English could be better. So.
And you'll be coming to me and saying, "Hey, I have this new great idea. Let's build this. Let's build that." And I will be like,
Let's not change.
Yeah, I agree. I also want to say that life is all about balance, right? And each and every country or each and every place has its own advantages, own things to be proud, and own things that they are different with. And I think the goal should be basically to balance between those places, right? As you do in life, you don't go only one direction. You're basically trying to balance and juggle around to make sure that your life, your business is balanced. So I think Georgia also is the place which can help people, being in the business or personal life, to balance their lives.
I agree, man. Thank you very much for everything. It was great second episode. So subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching Entrepreneur's Diary, episode 2. See you next time.